Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers face off with Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Hey, let's get it working. Ready, black 22.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 78 yards. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that, because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Eddie Pleasant in on the stop.
We got three
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And Selleck here, left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you've got to count for on every snap.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep for the Bucs, Deshaun Jackson. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Pass incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's 3rd down. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
And Richard Sherman's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and he's back after an Achilles injury in 2017. Never was known for his speed, but always was known for his smarts and his guile, and very rarely takes a false step when covering a receiver.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Garoppolo on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end. Third down here. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Oh, the Bucs swarm in and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live.
And that's truly the way to change field position, isn't it? Block the punt and then take over inside the 5-yard line. What a tremendous job by them. You change momentum, you change field position, and give yourself a chance to score.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So a great special teams play. They block the punt and excellent field position, 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Winston. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. To throw is Winston. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal.
Ready. Blue ready. Set. Watch for the ball, set.
They'll try to run it in with Jones. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On is Chandler Catanzaro now for the Buccaneer field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
A handoff to Abdullah. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Now Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Garcon with his first grab, good enough for a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Garoppolo looking for Garcon. He's got him. Touchdown 49ers. Pierre Garcon, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Gold with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They go play action. Winston. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the 1st quarter of play. It's the Bucs with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Ready? Blue lady.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Ready? 525.
On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jameis Winston with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
Extra point good by Catanzaro, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Hey, here we go. 11.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class, and there's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try to run it in with Abdullah, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2, and most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Gould is able to put it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, yeah, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. A first down throw for Winston. Evans has it left side. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play. Winston to Evans. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. That is caught inside the 5. 11 yards for number 11. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. One back in the game. That's Jones. 2nd and goal. Jameis to throw it. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. All right, let's discuss Amir Abdullah. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On 1st down, Abdullah. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
And he anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Bradley Pinion now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Ready? Blue lady.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll kick things off with a couple of blue-collar towns with blue-collar football teams. Baltimore hosting Oakland. And it's the Raiders who have the lead in that one. Seth Roberts, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it's been Jameis Winston who's been on target in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. Being chased out left. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, when they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. The offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll go down at the 28. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. This will be caught inside the 10. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Forced out to his left. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Niners on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. The quick slant caught. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Pierre Garçon, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the 49ers are back within a score.
Showtime, partner. What a great one-handed catch. How much of that was him? How much of that were the gloves?
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will get them one closer. Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Ready? Black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off the play fake, Winston. Going up top. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Yet again, Pierre Garçon and company gearing up to take the field. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have 2 touchdown catches. And they begin the drive with a duel-up. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
120. 180.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Oh, going deep here for Taylor. It's caught at the 10. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And penalty markers down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll run it now out of the gun. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit and make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8.
Ready. Blue lady.
From the gun, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Evans. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty. It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
4 down. Ready. Black 22.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, that's Barber. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Fielded at about the 28. And running with power here. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And Abdullah lost the football. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Winston now after the fumble recovery. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 46 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Ready. White 25.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Hey, ready. Blue lady.
He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal. Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll bring him back within a point. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Now Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Holding. Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Following the penalty, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On play action, now Garoppolo. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Gets this one left side to Pettis. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and forever. Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point...
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here's Winston. Now he'll escape to his right, finding some room at midfield. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Winston and Humphreys connecting there for a Tampa Bay 1st down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. The Niners on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
Here we go. 80! 21. Here we go.
To throw is Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding. Offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Jackson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And now it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game.
And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Working out of the gun, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brian Anger now. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and it keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
First down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape. This is Abdullah. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got room. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They go with a duel again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Gould is able to put it through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for San Francisco, the win form is number 6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Carolina Panthers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the